this track. What'd you name that lake out there, Jack?
I named that lake Lake Mayonnaise. No, excuse me, Lake Mayonnaise.
Lake Mayonnaise. See George Camp, Bob McKinney up ready to do their things in the striped shirts.
Track looks a little dry, Tom.
And it'll get drier in the next few seconds as Camp turns them loose.
And here we go on our hot lapping.
Hot lapping, track packing. Fun time in the old Pueblo on an Easter afternoon, huh?
That's for sure.
Well, it appears to be just a skosh dry. Hard to gauge this sucker after the kind of rainfall we had last night. Steady stuff, then intermittent.
What time did it stop raining last night? You know?
I don't know. It must have been around 4 o'clock, I'm guessing, 4:30 in the morning.
It was just a steady drizzle, so didn't get it too wet.
What'd you do afterwards last night? Anything special?
Oh, no. Just stopped and grabbed something to eat. Picked up a Moby Jack and moseyed on home.
Ooh, crunch.
Well, there's
Get one sideways and then do a little T-bar into him.
Well, we got one on number 4.
Got a tail up on the inside rim down in 4. When it rains, it pours. Or is that an expression we ought to stay away from today?
I think so. Yeah, he busted that left front wheel on that, Tom. Let me see, take a look and see who that is.
Cactus Jack. Cactus Jack doing the pile driving, taking it into the side of the car ahead of him who had gotten sideways. Little, if any, chance for him to do anything but. And speaking of butt, got the butt of one sitting up on the rim inside turn number 4, with help having just arrived there.
Cactus Jack won the championship up in Phoenix last year, Tom, and well, I hope his car's okay. Maybe he can fix that tire or something. I don't know exactly how much damage is there. We'll give you a report just as soon as we can. Well, as we get the track cleared here, we'll have the racing for this afternoon underway in just a short while. And want to remind you once again, if you haven't got a program, pick up your lucky number program. We're giving them away free today. And we'll be giving away some real nice gifts in just a short while.
Aussies that will sell.
Very good.
Cheap. Hi, Candy. Happy Easter. Morning or afternoon.
Candy, are you going to get to watch the races today, or are you going to be stuck in the office again? I am watching. She's watching the race. All right.
I have not seen one car race on this track.
Oh.
That's a shame.
Well, Candy gets to see it for the first time today, out of the office. So, see, what turned out to be a bad break for some of the rest of us was a good break for another.
Well, who's that fellow over in the number 1 corner all dressed in yellow? That's not Cactus Jack, is it? And it looks like a cowboy over there. That's Dave Culp, I was just informed. He drives the car number 90 out here at Raven. And he's a Phoenix cowboy. A great super modified driver.
I hear an echo in here.
Yes. Rose, there's the old water truck out there. You're going to wet her down just a little bit, keep the dust down, and the guys will be back out packing it down. Have a few tow trucks out there and a couple pickups, and pack her down just a little bit, keep the dust from flying.
Running over him.
Track is still just a little bit wet, Tom, but I'm sure by race time it's going to be just right for today's event.
Looks like they're brewing it up real swell.
Well, that's car number 15, Ricky Johnson, spun out there just after the number 2 turn. He's from Phoenix. Well, let's see if we get Ricky started on the back chute. Yep, gets him going right away. Just must have hit a wet spot over there and just spun out.
Imagine there's a few of them out there. We had to go repeatedly up there to turn 2 last night. Saw some really strange goings on up there, so anxious to see if that's going to hold forth and be the case today as well.
Well, let's just hope nobody goes into Lake Mayonnaise over there. I don't know how deep that thing is, but I wouldn't want to go in and find out.
I see a young lady down here just to the left of us, Jack. You see this little blonde here in the white top?
Oh, yeah, she's a cutie.
She's got her program number awfully handy. I guess she's maybe hinting to us that we ought to do something a little bit more here, like, let's see, what would... If they wanted to dry this sucker out, they could just flip their wings up, right, and force the air down like a hairdryer. I don't think we need much more drying out here.
Hey, we got a race going on right now. Donnie Sink in the car number 5T and Ronnie Wetwell in the Wing Super Modified number 96. Having a little fun out on the racetrack.
Wouldn't it be nice to be out there doing that?
Yes, just 2 cars for me. That'd be enough.
2-lap Jack in a 2-car race.
I'd probably still come in last.
Yes. You take the high road, and I'll take the low. And let's pass off the baton back here in turn 3, and let's give the crowd a thrill right about now.
Look at him go.
Hub to hub.
Sure looks like fun, doesn't it, Tom?
I'm ready.
You ready to get out there?
I'm ready.
You're ready, huh?
Oh, nice. Nice job. Turnabout's fair play now, says Ronnie up at the other end. Then he lags off. He probably is aware of all that activity we had in turn 2 very well.
Oh, this is a race.
Grub Stakes.
You give him the white flag for one more lap. He's going to give him the checkered flag. Donnie Sink's going to win another race out here.
Race for pride. Bragging rights. And Donnie dukes him.
That's a good job, Donnie. You can pick up your free program as your prize. No money involved in this one.
Nice packing. Let's give us some more stuff away here, Jack. Get your lucky program numbers handy if you haven't already. We got a Coca-Cola hat and T-shirt up here hot to trot to 0999.
Meatballs and racing.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we call your attention to front and center. Center of the track right now, the man in the red Raven T-shirt. If you don't already know him, you should. Let's give a warm Easter Sunday welcome to your track owner, Dave Maness.
We have a microphone. Good evening to all of you. All right, that's right. It's afternoon. Thank you very much for coming out here on Easter Sunday. I'm sure sorry about last night. We didn't. It was no fault of ours. We almost had the show in, and as you've seen, for those of you who was here, the fairgrounds went dead, and a lot of people thought it was just our problem. Well, the Ferris wheel and all the stuff over there that was lit because it's on generators. So they had their own power, but believe me, all the exhibition halls and everything had their emergency lights on, and they had quite a mess over there, too. For those of you that were here last night, thank you very much for being patient. You exited orderly. We had very few problems, and that amazed me all by itself. For the type of crowd we had a big crowd, and we didn't have any trouble with the people leaving. And as you've seen today, we decided that we just let it be freebie day. If somebody come out here and wasn't here last night, you got in free. So we got a lot of door prizes that are on those programs. The reason we gave out the programs, we had a lot of extras. The lucky number is on the back. The scheduling is inside the programs for further events that are coming up. Next week we do have a heavy weekend running Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon, and breaking in the new off-road course, which I think on Sunday afternoons this may become a real hot spot too. We got off-road cars, and we've got quite a club of them that's forming right now that are single-seaters and two-seaters, and guys that run Baja and the Mint 400 and stuff. They're competitors that'll be here, and I think you'll see a fine show there. General admission on Sundays is going to be $5, straight across the board. So we think that'll help the Sunday afternoon crowd and get the people out here and the families, and kids 12 and under in free. So maybe you can come out here on Sunday afternoons and take in your second race. They're lining up over there. Uh-oh, here they come. So here comes the semi. We're going to get this show over with, so everybody get home on Easter Sunday. Thank you all for coming. Next Friday and Saturday night, we got a late model shootout. Larry Phillips and them are planning on being here. We got a lot of out-of-town cars, out-of-state cars coming. So if you're looking for the best late model show around next Friday and Saturday night, you're going to see it. Thanks once again, and happy Easter.
Okay, let's give Dave Maness a big hand, folks. Doing a fine job out here. Well, we're just about ready to go, Tom. Car's pulling out on the track, and we'll be underway in just a few minutes.
Dave Maness, the man so popular, he had a lake named after him. Can't believe you did. What time of day did you do that, Jack?
I thought of that about 10 minutes before I got here.
Skinny dipping after today's racing. Wonder how deep that is out there. Wouldn't it be a great sight for an off-roader today?
Great sight for us, but not for him. Actually, I thought of the name when I got up in the middle of the night to use the restroom, but I didn't want to say that.
There's the car right there in turn one, just cruised in front of us, number 40. Sponsored by Nelco. One of Clyde Nelson's sons, Doug Nelson, at the wheel of that machine. The one that we mentioned earlier, if you weren't here last night, did a little topsy-turvy number down here coming into turn 4. 12 cars, 10 laps. USAC Midget Semi. You folks ready for it? Why not, huh? Scott Summers in that car 65. Get a bump start going.
Tom, that's Buddy Nelson getting pushed back there on the back straightaway, the car number 11. See if we can get him going, get this race underway.
Beautiful blue car number 11. It's pretty sitting still. Looked fast sitting in the pit last night, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Well, there's your pole sitter, John Hubner, in the car number 51. He'll be leading them around. And on the outside pole, Al Allen in the car number 3.
Where's our guy from?
George says one more time around. Get the tow truck off the track and get everybody lined up.
TV4 Eyewitness News had so much fun out here last night, they've apparently decided to come back and have a little more fun here on Easter Sunday.
All in all, I had a good time last night. You know, there was a few problems, but some good racing. Well, we'll see if George is going to let him go this time.
George Camp eyes him. They want to go. He says, let's do it. Racing on Easter. Even though we weren't scheduled to. Oh, that's a nice little maneuver up there. Hubner says, not so fast, big guy. Let's see if I can't gain this back here coming out of turn 3.
Al Allen's going wide.
Looks like he's got him at least temporarily, although now it looks like they're going to do a little seesawing back and forth some more. And they begin to string out. Hubner still commanding the lead, though not by much. Then basically a 4-car race for that number 2 slot.
Looks like Al Allen's trying to make the move on him. Just keeps going a little bit too wide.
Jerry Rhodes is sneaking up into second place as they came down the home stretch. See if he can hang on to it out of 2 and 3.
Buddy Nelson's right in there among them.
And he's becoming very due. Buddy said he would like to deke him out for the championship this year. Your former Rookie of the Year driver. And very much a family affair for the Nelson family. Buddy's got her in second spot right now.
We also have a battle going on for 6th and 7th place, car number 72 and 77. Tom Pano and Ernie Payne.
And Hubner staving off a late charge there by Buddy Nelson.
I believe Buddy's going to start making his move right here, Tom.
I think he's been making it, but he dives into the lead temporarily in turn 3. Seems to be hanging on in 4 and then gives up just about a half a car length to John Hubner. A Tucson driver in car number 51 in the lead, but seesawing that lead back and forth with another Tucsonan, car number 11, Buddy Nelson.
We're coming up to lap number 8 of the semi-main.
Boy, what a nice duel that is for top spot right now. Buddy Nelson staving off John Hubner down there in turn number 1 and holding that lead through turn 2. Right there is where he regained the lead just a lap ago, and now seemingly putting a little pad between himself and number 2, John Hubner, with Jerry Rhodes currently running in 3rd place in car number 32.
And there's a white flag, Tom. This is our last lap. Buddy Nelson hugging that inside.
Good little dueling drive and looking at the checkered. Buddy Nelson, John Hubner, and Jerry Rhodes. 1, 2, 3 in your USAC Midget Semi on an Easter Sunday afternoon, and the rest of the parade.
I'll tell you, Tom, that was some exciting racing. It could have been anybody's race at any time there. And Buddy just kept moving up, and he just slid right in there right toward the end.
That was a dandy one, and one of the observations I would make, Jack, after last night and today is you got to be on it in just the right spot, or so it would appear, shooting out of turn number 1, because you got to go up there low in turn 2. If you get too high up there, you really get mushed up. And that's where a lot of the time that we've seen lost the last 2 nights has, in fact, been lost.
Well, I was watching Buddy, and he was just hugging that inside almost all the way around the track. So that car must be handling real well for him. Fine job of racing.
He was real positive about that effort down in pit row last night, and so was Pop.
Won the race. He was your leader. In second place was John Hubner in the car number 51. Sponsored by Wheeler Farms. Also, Buddy Nelson's car was sponsored by Arizona Underground, Nelco Construction, and Arizona Crankshaft. And in third place, the car number 32, Jerry Rhodes, sponsored by Printing Company, Device Development. 1, 2, 3, 11, 51, and 32. That's how they wound up here at the semi-main event at Raven Raceway and our first midget weekend here. Okay, I guess we're going to take a little break, Tom. We'll be back to chat with you in just a short while. The concession stands are all open, and you can pick yourself up a jumbo hot dog, hamburger, golden French fries, or ice-cold Coke from Coca-Cola Bottling Company.
One of those, aren't those nice? GT Mustangs.
Convertible.
The old ragtops have made their way back in our society. Thank the Lord.
What George was doing was holding them in on the inside there in the pace car, trying to iron the track down on the inside a little bit.
Got some more things to give away here, like how about a Coca-Cola hat and T-shirt? Lucky program number 0760. 0760 for a Coca-Cola hat and T-shirt in our concession stand. Well, your participants here in your USAC Midget Main today, Jack, we got quite a list here. 25 cars going to go for broke here. David Burns in car number 73 will be sitting on the pole with Billy Schuman in car number 48, the brother of Ron Schuman on the outside. David Burns' car is sponsored by Race Tire Company and Pennzoil. That's car number 73 on the pole. Jack, you want to take a look at row 2?
Okay, in row 2, on the inside is Dave Culp in the car number 90. He's sponsored by Stewart Racing Products out of Phoenix and Speedmark from Phoenix, and Dave's Corvair from Baldwin Park, California. That's the car number 90, Dave Culp. And on the outside position in row number 2 is Dave Brazzel in the car number 95C, sponsored by the Ellis Racing Machine.
Row number 3 inside, car number 1, Cactus Jack Yaley out of Phoenix. Yaley and Williams are the car owners, sponsors B&J Contracting and Jack Rich Race Cars. On the outside of row 3, car number 3, also from Phoenix, Mark Passarelli, the Arizona Race Mark, Creative Car Stereo, and Finishing Touch Furniture Car.
Okay, Tom, I was just informed by the steward up here that Cactus Jack was scratched for the night. Must have been that tire that he blew, or probably not the tire, but the A-frame or whatever, so he's scratched for tonight. On the 4th row is the car number 15, Ricky Johnson. He's from Phoenix, and he's sponsored by Wheeler Farms, and Manzanita Speedway, Blake Machine, and Colors by Kenny. And on the outside is Eric Wilkins in the car number 01, sponsored by Independent Truck, Pennzoil, A&K Machine Shop, Bet's Body Shop, and Performance. That's the car number 1, Eric Wilkins.
Row number 5 inside, car number 45, Hank Winter of Tucson. Sponsors are Duke's Video, Aegis Construction, Soil Systems, and Southwest Fastener. On the outside of row number 5, car number 34, Mick Pano out of Phoenix. The car sponsored by Superior Machine and Tool.
Okay, Tom, we're going into our parade lap. I'd like to have all you stand up, take out your handkerchiefs or hats or whatever, and wave these fellows on to victory as they come by on their parade lap. And here they come. Let's let them hear it, folks.
Row number 6 inside, car number 95 from California, one of your top dudes in the country in this category, Robbie Flock, driving Terry Day's Midget. On the outside of row 6, number 23, Steve Sussex out of Tempe. M&S Racing, A&M Nuts and Bolts, and Marilite Products, the sponsors of that car. Row 7 inside, number 26, she's Jerry Rice, sponsored by Ron's Racing Products and Stewart Fabricating. Sitting to the right of Jerry Rice today in car number 51, the Chevy from Tucson, John Hubner, sponsored by Whaler Farms car. Your 7th row, car number 11, Buddy Nelson of Tucson, the Arizona Underground, Nelco Construction, and Arizona Crankshaft, the sponsors of that car. Jerry Coons Jr. in car number 12A, sitting on the outside of Buddy Nelson. His car sponsored by Automotive Parts and Machine Incorporated. Jerry Rhodes, car number 32, and Doug Nelson in car number 40. Rhodes' car sponsored by Printing Company and Device Development. Doug Nelson sponsored by Nelco, Arizona Underground, Arizona Crankshaft, and Dimmitt Construction. And we've got green and Easter Sunday parade at Raven Raceway. We'll get you the rest of the starting lineup as we get breaks in the action here. Let's see how they stack up at the end of this first lap. Still David Burns, car number 73, holding on to the lead, and in fact putting a little pad between himself and car number 2. You've got a two-way battle right now brewing for 3rd position in that 3rd turn, and it looks like it's been won and cashed from a number 3 to a number 2 spot in the early on for car number 3. That's Mark Passarelli.
Uh-oh, look out!
And we've got a big tangle down in turn 1 on the far side of turn 1.
We've got one on top of the other one, Tom.
A big stack coming out of turn 1, but it looks like we've got the yellow on and everybody cautioned, aware of what's going on. Ambulance making the move in case it is necessary.
Tom, that yellow car, I was watching him. He just lost it in that number 2 turn over there, and the other cars had nowhere to go. And he just jumped right on top of him.
Well, on the plus side, it seemed like by the time they actually made contact down there, a lot of the speed had dropped, and hopefully it won't be too bad of a mess that they untangle down there just beyond turn number 1. As soon as we can sort them out and pick them out, we'll let you know. Also looking for the wave of the yellow flag to let us know that everything's in fact cool down there. But a good charge put on in the early on by Phoenician Mark Passarelli in the Arizona Race Mart Creative Car Stereo Finishing Touch Furniture sponsored car number 3.
Well, the driver's still sitting in that yellow car. He's underneath the car that's on top of him, Tom. The ambulance is in a way a little bit. I can't see exactly what's going on, but I'll keep you updated here.
Lap 6 coming up. Laps are ticking away under the yellow today. And again, as soon as we can pass along information, we will. Dave Manus out in the center of the home stretch here, guiding them by. David Burns, car number 73. Billy Schuman in car number 48 is up there. But the big charge just before we went to yellow being put on by car number 3 out of Phoenix, Mark Passarelli. Steve Sussex involved in that melee down there, we've just been told. Car number 23. Jerry Coons, another one. You pick any others out. Jack's got the glasses on him.
Nope, the ambulance is blocking my view here, Tom. We'll get your report just as soon as we can. Looks like we do have an injured driver out there. We'll give you a report just as soon as we can.
Dave Culp, car number 90, part of that. Got one on the hook. Being carried out right now.
They're over by Steve Sussex car right now, Tom. I'm not sure if it is Steve that they're working on over there, but we'll give you a report just as soon as we can.
John Hibner's car on the hook there to the right of the grandstands, heading for the pit area. When they drove that one by, one of the dangling wheels on that car bumped off the right rear of Doug Nelson's car down here, number 40, and Doug whipped to look around with that helmet on like, what the hey are you doing? But they wanted to get Hibner's machine out, and that's the second one to leave the track this afternoon.
Well, if we would have combined this with last night's event, we would have had a late night last night.
Something. 8 laps down. And here we sit idled. Once again.
Well, the
At
snack
least
bar,
it's dry, right?
That's right. The snack bars are still open, and along with the beer well, so you have a few moments. Might want to wander on back to our, well, we've got that Mexican concession stand here at Raven Raceway. They've got beef and bean burritos and nachos and cheese crisp and just a whole bunch of good food back there. So
Haven't had a chance to try any of that last night, but I'll tell you what, they've got the barbecue pit area is located, unfortunately, downwind and not very far away from the press box.
yes,
so
I smelled that coming in.
It is awesome floating up here.
Well, when we continue, we'll be going into the 9th lap. We're 8 laps down, and when we get underway, we'll be starting out and lap number 9.
One of the cars we hadn't had a chance to identify and introduce to you is sitting down here, currently being rolled forward right in front of the grandstands. Car number 75, Mike Best, sponsored by Best Auto Parts. Already mentioned that little orange car right under the starter's stand, car number 40, that's Doug Nelson. Had that one up on its top last night, looking through the sunroof of dirt.
And he's back out here today. That amazes me, how he can flip over last night and be right back out here.
Parks me, I'll guarantee you that.
It's not official yet, but that looks like Steve Sussex out there in the car number 23 that's injured, and we'll give you a report just as soon as we have it.
C65 now, too. He's right up against the rail here in front of the grandstand. Number 65, driven by Scott Summers here today. Number 26, we didn't have a chance to mention a little earlier on, Jerry Rice. Ron's Racing Products and Stewart Fabricating car. Pretty little red, white, blue, and yellow machine. Sitting off to the right here in the home stretch area. Another one being hooked out. Number 23. The Steve Sussex car.
Well, that is Steve Sussex, the injured driver, and they're going to be transporting him, get him checked out. Well, Tom, if I was ever going to go back into auto racing, which I don't believe I am, I don't think that the Midgets would be my choice. I love to watch them, don't get me wrong. It's exciting, but these guys, they flip over and jump on top of each other, and that's just not for me.
That's what goes along, I understand, with the open wheel racing. Remember when they used to do it very open wheel, the championship type cars years ago, back at Indianapolis? Boy, it used to scare me to death. Those guys at that time approaching 150s and 160s and four of the wheels hanging out there. Then came the years of the gas tanks being used as ground effects. Short-lived, thank God, but not until after Eddie Sachs had bought it in that horrendous accident in turn 3 back there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then we started wising up and going to the fuel cells and putting them inboard and getting the wheels put a little closer to the center of gravity line of the car, and ground effects became all important, where now at high speeds they literally suck themselves right down on the track's surface.
Safety has certainly come a long way in auto racing since my younger days, and I know you remember how bad it was back then. No fuel cells, no fire extinguishers in the units or in the cars.
Okay, let's check in with our track owner, Dave Manus. I understand he is on the track. Dave, what you got?
George, do that again. I like that. Hey, hey.
Okay, well, we've got some quiet on the grounds, and we were running behind with our giveaways. We do have a number of good prizes and stuffs left yet here this afternoon, so let's get it on. Get your program. You, darling, right there, who just looked up here, you can come up right now because we got something special we want to get to you. She's been sitting here so patiently last night and then again today. So how about a Coca-Cola hat? Would you wear that, dear? What's your name? Mary Martin? Mary. What's that last name again, Mary?
Walker.
Mary Walker. You were here patiently waiting for a prize last night and then again this afternoon, weren't you? Yeah, and a sweet-looking young lady. How old are you?
10.
And did you have a happy Easter today?
Yeah.
Great. Do you like automobile racing?
Yeah.
You going to be here a lot in 87?
Yeah, my daddy races. My dad races.
Oh, you got a lucky dad if he's a racer. You going to be a racer when you grow up a little bit more? No? Okay, congratulations. Don't go away. Hang on there a second because we want to get you something a little special here this afternoon. Also, how about some lucky program numbers for a K&D hat from Brassfield Auto Parts Plus, Jack, to lucky program number 1122. 1122. Check in with our concession stand, folks. You've got yourselves a K&D hat courtesy of the Brassfield Auto Parts people.
Okay, Tom, also from Brassfield Auto Parts. We have a T-shirt to give away. The lucky number 1082. 1082. You've just won yourself a T-shirt brought to you by Brassfield Auto Parts.
Excuse me up there.
Yes.
Since Dave won't come, I'll be the trackside announcer. How's that?
Okay, go right ahead.
We've got one of the cars down here, Weiler's Midgets, that was involved. And John Hubner's driving. He is okay. Car's back on a front chute. We're going to see if we can get a word to him and see what actually happened over there. There he goes. John, how do you feel?
Oh, I'm all right. That guy, we were just, everyone running so close together, and he messed up, and I had it, I thought I was by him, and then got hit from behind, and that was it.
So far, being a day show, usually it's a real hard, slick track on most day shows in Phoenix or here. How's the track seem to be for the midgets today?
It is hard, slick, and this track is so round, I think it's going to be pretty good racing still. Hard on tires, but have to see what happens.
For competition-wise, do you think there'll probably be one or two grooves to get around the track, or it'll be just a one-groove track?
It looks like everyone's running around the bottom right now, but someone may find something up top.
That's John Hubner. Let's give him a round of applause. We got the car going back. Like to mention again, it's from Stewart Fabrication and Weiler. Car out of Phoenix, driver out of Tucson. Also down here, Clyde Nelson's the owner. Car number 40, one of the Nelsons. Let me see if I can walk over here and get some of the sponsors. I know it's Nelson Construction. Arizona Crank. Doug Nelson. Let's see if we can get a word with him. Doug, how does it seem to be working today?
It seems to be working a lot better than last night. But, we worked most of the night and got her back together this morning. And feels good. I feel good. So.
Being that you guys built the track and did most of the construction, how does it feel to be driving on a track that you put together?
Feels good. Feels good to be racing in Tucson again. No, I just want to thank all the fans for coming out today. We appreciate this sport.
George, ask him what it felt like to flip the car last night.
I think it's a hard thing to say when you ask them, how did it feel when you rolled over?
Well, it wasn't as bad as last year. It didn't bang me up so bad, but it just made me mad more than anything.
Great.
I'll be there. We'll be there in the end.
He'll be there in the end. That's what he said. Let's give him a round of applause. Doug Nelson. Mike Best, wait a minute. You used to drive in a mini stock. Now he's in a midget. What are you doing, Passerelli? Give me the cord back. I'll get you next. Mike Best, from a mini stock up to a midget. How does it feel to be driving a midget?
A lot different. A lot different.
How's the, I should say handling, or does it seem to be a lot quicker than your mini stock?
Well, it's so short that it's pretty squirrely. It's not as stable.
Do you think it'll stay? How's the midget driving so far? Do you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's really nice.
Does it feel good to run in Tucson again?
Sure does. This is a great track.
Mike Best going up into the midget ranks. Let's give him a round of applause. Passarelli, come here. Mike Passarelli, out of Phoenix, sponsored by Arizona Spray Systems, right? Still? No, not that anymore, excuse me. Well, see, it's been a long time since I was down here. Here's one went back east and won the Belleville Nationals. Let's give him a round of applause. Along with our owner, Dave Maness, also won it. So, how's it going?
Oh, it's not too bad. I'm glad everybody came out. You know, last night was a little bad luck, and I'm glad everybody came out to watch us tonight or today, whatever it may be. But it's going to be a good show for you guys. Now, I'd just like to say congratulations to Jimmy Blanton of Arizona Race Mart. He's our Hoosier tire dealer. And he got married, you know, and, you know, it's been a long time for him, and he finally found a little woman to settle down with, and they're having a little one here soon, so I'm real happy for him. And I have to say congratulations to Ricky Johnson for having his little baby boy last Wednesday night, too. But, again, thanks, and I'm hope this works for Dave Maness because myself and Dave used to run together in Midgets, and I know he's a real tough racer, and he's a perfectionist, and this racetrack proves it. And if anybody's ever been to the old Tucson and came out here for the first time, they can appreciate it because Dave and Linda and the whole bunch worked real hard, and they deserve a lot of credit.
Thank you, Mark. Mark Passarelli out of Phoenix. Back to you, Tom and Jack, for a minute. We'll get a few drivers here, a few more drivers in a minute.
Okay, George Camp, thank you much. Job well done down there, and nice chat with Doug Nelson and Mark Passarelli and all the others. We still haven't given everything away here, have we?
No, we haven't. We've got
Good
quite a few
Lord.
left, Tom.
Let's do a water jug next. A 1-gallon water jug to lucky program number 0339. 0339. Check in at the concession stand now for a 1-gallon water jug. How about an ice chest? Could you put an ice chest to use in the months ahead? I thought so. Lucky program number 0779.
Well, let's give away another T-shirt, Tom, to lucky program number 0871. We're going to give you a T-shirt, and that's brought to you by Brassfield Auto Parts. And we're going to give away another K&D hat from Brassfield Auto Parts, lucky number 1122. That's 1122. A K&D hat from Brassfield Auto Parts. Away one more T-shirt, 0746. 0746. Just got yourself a T-shirt from Brassfield Auto Parts.
Some information you can put to use just before we head back down to George Camp trackside. Just got word from track owner Dave Maness that for the next midget and super modified shows and for all open wheel events across the rest of the 87 season, at least a pair of ambulances will be on the scene so that when we have a transport case, we can return to racing immediately. So just another of the changes that we wanted to share with you immediately and let you know that in the future that is the situation. We can transport and still have open wheel racing all future dates here at Raven Raceway. Still got some more gifts to give away, so keep your programs handy. We'll be calling out some numbers. Once again, want to thank Channel 4, Eyewitness News for coming out, Dan Hicks and company, taking some more racing pictures today. And now let's take you back to center of the track, home stretch here. George Camp, who you got?
Down here trackside, I got Jerry Rice, one of the women, well, one of the fair women that are driving in the midgets. Short, can't you tell? See, short, midget, okay. Jerry, how's it feel driving a midget?
It's a lot of fun. You know, I don't get much harassment from these guys, but it's a lot of fun.
From driving from the different tracks from Manzi and around, how do you seem to like this track so far? This first time you've driven here?
Oh, this track's great. It's a lot of fun. I came out a week ago and ran, and we really had a lot of fun. 6 of us ran around, and it's a fast track. It's a good place.
That's the first main that you won, too, just for a short 10 lap. You didn't win? No, see, excuse me. See, I'm second. Okay. Sponsored by Ron's Racing. Ron's down there. Compared to, do you think you want to stay in the midgets, or would you ever move up in the ranks?
I wouldn't mind trying to move up. I think I need to get faster in this first, though. From the, run up front first.
How's the car seem to be running on today for a day show?
For a day show, yeah, like everybody else. It's dry out there. We're already used up one tire.
That's Jerry Rice. Let's give her a round of applause. You did good. She was scared to talk on the mic. Okay, back to you, Tom and Jack. Wait a minute, before you go back. Don't you think out of all the announcers that have ever been here, they are the two best announcers we ever had out this racetrack? Let's give them a round of applause. They have a hard job trying to keep track of all the cars. I think they're doing a hell of a job.
It's a fun job, and with that, we got to thank you, George Camp. George was kind enough several weeks ago to give us his old flip files and a bunch of recipe cards. He'd been to a couple of conventions of racers and said, basically, I've got it all figured out, Tom and Jack, and here's what you need, and he just presented it to us to use. So that has been a big, big help.
Oh, he's been a tremendous help to me, Tom. Just a mound of information.
He's a camp guy, camp sort of guy, Camp George.
Camp George, I like that.
That goes right over there next to Manzanita, not Manzanita, but Mayonnaise Lake, right?
Lake Mayonnaise.
maybe we could name it Manzanita Lake. Would that be nice?
I don't think Dave would like that. I don't know.
Well, all done with all the affection one can muster, of course.
Now we got a new person from Phoenix. Phoenix, yeah. David Culp. David Culp driving a midget today on number 90. How you doing, Dave?
Well, so far so good. I wish I could pick up some more speed, but I have to just take what I can get right now.
I heard Passarelli got around you down there in the corner. I'll tell the crowd how it happened in clean terms.
Clean terms, I just ran into turn 3 and tried to top, and it didn't work very well, and Passarelli come around on the bottom, so that just dropped me back to third. So we'll just stay on the bottom and run around and hope everybody runs out of tires.
Also, David Cope will be back down here on May 2nd driving a wing sprint car for the May 2nd show. That's sprints versus super modifieds here on the white. How do you think the sprint cars are going to be on this track?
I think they're going to be pretty fast. If you can build a couple of grooves, you're going to see some wide open racing. The sprinter should be able to run around here just full bore, never lifted.
Do you think the super modifieds will be competition for you on this 3/8?
If it gets slick.
Manus, but Donnie Sink down there is probably going, yeah, I want a hard, slick track, because Donnie Sink's real good on a hard, slick track here. I'd like to thank you for coming down, Dave. How's this track for you compared to running all the other tracks?
I missed it. I'm sorry.
You're making it real easy for me. I haven't been down here in about 5 years. How's this track? Whoops, we still there? Thank you. How's this track compared to other tracks?
Slick right now, but it's a neat little racetrack. I think it's really going to put on. You're going to see some good shows after you get the track worked in a little bit, and I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to run down here.
Thanks, David Culp. Let's give David Culp a round of applause. Give this chance.
Your chance to cruise and peruse pit row, and then we're all going to go fishing in Mayonnaise Lake.
Well, Tom George tells him one more time around. Let's see if he's going to start him after this one.
I bet George is getting hungry.
Yes.
Looking good.
And they're feeling good, I'm sure.
They're going to set it up. Say, George, Mr. Camp, let's go racing. We're under green. And a flying restart. So far, looking pretty clean, too. Let's start to sort them out. Getting a little tight down there in turn 3. David Burns in that car 73, maintaining the lead that he had built before the break. Mark Passarelli, car number 3, running in second place right now. David Burns and Mark Passarelli going 1, 2, heading into the home stretch. Number 90, David Culp, is still in third place. So there's your top three, folks. David Burns, Mark Passarelli, and Dave Culp. 1, 2, 3, as we resume. Here they come out of that turn 4, down the home straight. Even distance between the top three, and then it opens up. Looks like a battle could be brewing for fourth place.
Tom, they're not quite bunched up like they were the last time we had them started. They're pretty much still in single file.
They got this one sorted out real quick, didn't they?
They sure did.
Now the gap betweens to enlarge between 1 and 2, and a two-car duel for position number 2. There goes Burns flashing by now, chased by Passarelli, Dave Culp in car 90, and then it opens up quite a bit as we continue on, basically single file, and still racing under the green, despite a few squirrels down there in turn 4 by some of those bringing up the back of the pack.
He's got a real comfortable lead now, Dave does. He's got about 10 cars on his number 2 car. 10 cars lead.
There goes Buddy Nelson wheeling by.
We've got 2 of them
just
over in
ahead
number
of Doug
4.
Nelson, and 2 of them out of proper perspective down here in turn 4. Red flag being issued. All the remaining competitive field at this time by your starter and flagman Dave Camp. George Camp, I'm sorry. 2 of them.
Tom, I can't see which ones they are from here. They're, neither one of the numbers are showing. One of the drivers is pretty upset. I don't blame him. There's a lot of money involved in these automobiles.
Just don't throw the helmet, though.
That's right. And it cost him $100 if he done that.
The gloves you can get away with. So we shut them down again. Red flag time. Sort out the mess in turn 4, and as soon as we've got some official, we'll pass it along. At least the good news already is that one of the drivers obviously is not seriously injured. Seriously upset, but not seriously injured.
I just got the word, Tom, that the other driver also is okay, so both the fellas are A-okay.
Way to go, gang.
One of those cars that flipped over is car number 45. Looks like Hank Winter to me.
Tucson driver. I think Hank was involved in the Steve Sussex fray, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe he was.
Sussex in car number 23, and Ernie Payne in that Chevy 2, car number 77, both scratched as a result of the Sussex accident up there in turn 1. Driver of that Gary's towing truck there says you should have seen the one that got away.
Well, it looks like car number 12A, Jerry Coons Jr., that flipped over also in the corner. And thank goodness once again that everybody's okay.
It's amazing the beating they can take and really not show much for it, for the wear and tear. And that could be true of either driver or machine, but it's amazing. That one getting the push there. Yeah, he's going to have a little bit of overnight work to do.
He'll be back out here.
They'll probably have it ready to go again sometime before sundown tomorrow or noon by the latest the next day.
Miles.
George is drooping yellow for them. They seem to be getting it back in order pretty uniformly here. Who knows, 75% of the circuit in order to get things improved to the satisfaction of George Camp, who's got green in hand, also yellow in hand. Now making a last-minute observation. Is it going to be go or no? One more under the yellow. That one just got a little bit too much away from him, and he thought, well, let's be safe.
I think something was going on there at the pit entrance, Tom. George kept looking over that way. Like I said last week and last night, he's going to get it right. When he sees fit that everything's lined up, he'll let him go.
Here they come following David Burns, and they've got green. We're racing again. Passarelli putting some early heat on right up on the rear end of David Burns right now. 73-3, running 1-2 in that order. Then we got a stream of them. Bit of a battle about fifth spot. Here comes Burns, Passarelli, and being chased by Dave Culp in car number 90 in the third position right now. Burns, Passarelli, and Culp running 1, 2, 3, and then the gap before the rest of the parade.
We're halfway through, Tom. George just gave the sign. We're halfway through the main event.
Midway. 48, Billy Schuman, currently in fourth place in that car number 48. Tenaciously holding on to fourth place. A lot of Zoomers, 5 or 6 of them right in a row behind him. Waiting for the opportunity. Oh, got a
look out.
Oh, bit of a rough ride there. But everybody's in the clear. Passarelli died here in the home stretch. And then he was clipped. And a bouncy ride, winding up tail first for, that's right, Passarelli came bounding. Three and 0-3 getting it together there.
All right, we need the ambulance drivers to come on over to the front straightaway.
Ambulance en route. Apparently they want to take a look at Al Allen. Mark Passarelli climbing out of his machine right now of his own volition and under his own power. The other guy, well, the medic's quick on the scene, and checking things out with Mr. Passarelli. Al Allen was able to climb out of his machine with no trouble. Mark took a bit of a bouncy ride and then flipped around, tails first, and getting some aid and observation right now. So we shut him down again and lose plumbing and supply and O'Reilly Chevrolet. All of us, as well as you, remembering Vicki Lynn. The Vicki Lynn Memorial coming up on the 12th of September. That's going to be a big, big show.
Got one turned around there in the number 1 corner. I'm sure as soon as we get him straightened out, we'll be back underway. And we're going into lap number 20, Tom, so there'll be just 10 more to go after that.
19 finally under the belt. And after the next 10, going to get me a belt.
Well, this certainly has been good practice for next Sunday. I'll tell you, it's almost like a full, complete show out here this afternoon.
You got a lot of competitors next week in the various categories that'll be running out here.
That's right. Fellas are really excited. I've talked to a bunch of them, and they're just really excited about this Sunday afternoon.
You don't have any bikes yet, do you?
No bikes yet. They'll be coming up shortly.
See that second ambulance now in the infield area. Hopefully neither to be needed anymore this afternoon.
And we've had our share of them already, so. But it's good to have them out here. I feel more comfortable with 2 of them out there, Tom, than I do the one now after seeing what's been going on this afternoon. Is that Mark Passarelli coming back?
Get you all in a nice, neat, single file line behind David Burns in car number 73 up front. Dave Culp, car 90. Billy Schuman, car 48. Ricky Johnson in car 15. Mick Papano in car number 34. And George Camp says 1 more, gentlemen. They're getting 1 finger saying, give it 1 more parade. The Nelson boys, Buddy and Doug, fore and aft. Just about the 60% mark, right about in the middle of the field.
What do you think, Tom? He's going to let him go this time?
Camp's thinking green, wanting to get it resumed so we can get it completed and he can get home to Easter dinner. I got a feeling it's green once again. Lap number 20. David Burns, the main man. Dave Culp, number 2. Got a 6 or 5 car plane after the top 2. Some jockeying going on for 4th and 5th spot right now. That's the first of where they begin to bunch up in the long string of automobiles. David Burns, number 73 in the lead. Dave Culp, number 90, giving him chase as they come out of turn 4. Billy Schuman in car 48 there, your 3rd place driver currently, and followed by Ricky Johnson, number 15. That's your top quad. And Burns seems to be running with plenty of power and on his own right now with a decent lead on Dave Culp, and both of them together doing well, at least at the time, on the rest of the field. Billy Schuman holding his own up there currently in 3rd place. Then it's anybody's guess from there on back. 96 shifts to the pits, Rod Downs. And into the final laps of this Easter Day parade. these guys give chase to David Burns in car 73, your leader. There he goes, about to do some lapping.
He's just holding that inside, Tom, as he goes around 1 and 2, just holding her right in there. And look at him go down that back chute. Well, we've got the yellow
again. One inside down here on turn 4. But at least it's rubber down. Rod Downs just before that, taking a right-hand turn down here at turn 1 and rolling her pit side instead. So the field continues to dwindle, but so does this main race. Getting into the 11th hour of the laps it'll take to finish this one off this afternoon. '75, Mike Best is now out. 96, Rod Downs has joined him.
We're back on the green. Mark Passarelli pulls into the pits as they come around the number 4 corner. There's your leader, the car number 73, David Burns.
He's been hot so far, hasn't he?
Boy, he's doing really good out there today.
Seems to have plenty of power. Running a good race, but he's suddenly got some company eking up on him, Jack.
That's right. He's being challenged by the car number 90.
Dave Culp, Lightning Leroy.
And he's hot on his tail as they go down the back chute.
Had a pretty good gap. Following back to the rest of the field. Still Burns and Culp. 1-2. Billy Schuman in car number 48. Can he get up there to contend? George Camp thinks white.
Yep, this is going to be real interesting, Tom.
We've got 1 to go. This could turn into quite a dash. Let's see what David Burns' strategy is in the lead position, chased by Dave Culp and Billy Schuman. Trying to give it a go from that 3rd position, but it looks like time is going to run out on both he and Culp. Looks like David Burns in car 73
and
the way.
We've got a battle here for 4th place, Tom. Up. No, he could not slide up in front of him, the car number 15.
Robbie Flock out of California, one of your top drivers in the country. Unofficially, I've got him in 4th place, making a surge there at the end, as you mentioned, Jack, but a good show. And finally, a go.
Well, we finally did it. We finished the main event here. Took us a little while, but we got her.
And again, from Linda and Dave Manus, all the folks who joined them to comprise Raven Raceway, a very special thank you today for what turned out to be the extra long weekend, for coming out today and sharing your Easter celebration with us. It's been our privilege and our pleasure all the way. Hope to see you out here on Friday, Saturday, and or Sunday of next weekend, and then a whole host of weekends, weeks ahead here in the 87 racing campaign. Good show, Jack.
Yes, it was.
They probably know it better than anybody. They've been out there in the Dust Bowl. We tried to create better conditions all day, but I think they did a fine job all in all. The race drivers are okay. The ones that got hurt, they've been released last night. The other gentleman was in transport, is now seriously injured. He has a neck sprain. So I think that's good news there. We'd like to do the first presentation. Buddy Nelson, you're making a half out of this. He won our exhibition race here last week, I guess it was. My beautiful wife, Linda, she got picked for this one. Buddy's going to get the pin the corsage on her here. Winner of our semi-main,
First ever USAC semi-main, Tucson, Arizona. How about a nice hand of applause for Buddy Nelson? Also, I'd like to mention Nelco Construction. They played a big part in building this racetrack. Clyde, wherever you are, thank you very much. Buddy and your family for building a very excellent racetrack. Congratulations, buddy. You did it again. I didn't say that, but I'm real tired. Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. And come back some more because they're going to get better. I'm sure the racing will be a lot better. For you folks that was here last night, you've seen a lot of side-by-side action. We had a little trouble today because of the dust. They still put on a heck of a show, and I don't think you could ask for much more from these guys. I think I see the difference there. Buddy, you got a little more rubber on the right rear than old Dave Burns over here right now. But Dave Burns, congratulations to you, Burns Farms. This gentleman here is a hard racer. I've run many laps with him. He's run all over the country and traveled as far back as back east, Midwest. He's a hell of a competitor. This is Buddy Nelson's sister. This is Sue Nelson. Well, we got the whole Nelson family up here today. And she's going to make the presentation here for the winner of the first ever Raven Raceway, USAC, main event. And to me, that's just super. We pulled it off. We got USAC here. Dave Burns, congratulations on being the first main event winner of Raven Raceway.
Autocraft machine at McCurry Tire and Rubber, most of all Dave for putting this USAC deal together down here.
Get over there. That's good, Dave.
Dave, who sponsors your car?
Well, McCurry Tire and Rubber and Autocraft machine.
And Dave Burns, right?
Dave Burns, right.
I know that for a fact. He has a cotton farm, correct?
Yes, sir.
He has a cotton farm down in Casa Grande area. He's also helped support a lot of the people in racing, such as John and Jeff Hubner and a lot of other guys out of the Phoenix area and helping with race cars. I think we're in tune for some of the best racing we ever had this year at this racetrack. Dave, do you like the racetrack?
Oh, yes, it's great. It's a little hard to stick today, but it wasn't bad. It come off last night, it was great. And everybody ought to be back for the Western Series. You'll have probably 25 guys from the coast, 50, 60 cars. It'll be good racing.
I think so too, Dave. I think we're going to have a bigger field every week. But thank you all for coming. How about a nice round of applause for Buddy, Dave Burns. Thank you all. Enjoy yourselves. We're going to leave the beer well open for a while. It won't close like last week. And if you want to go down in the pit area, take the time to walk down the pit area, meet some of these drivers and owners, and look at the rigs, and let them know how you feel about them coming out here to race. Thank you very much. He wants to know if he gets a free beer for winning. One free beer.
Yeah, Dave was going to toss it.
Palsy, how do you get through? Believe it or not, we used to do that. That's what's nice. Pretty big motion? Yeah, it's a lot easier. Everybody else it's a lot easier. I guess this guy need to back it up to get it in gear.
You hear that?
I need to back it up. Out again. Out again.
Cylinders going up and down.
That one is. Piston works.
inches, I can tell you. You're wasting your time.
She's only active about 30% in it.
We're gonna have here. We're gonna have it here at 6 no matter what. I told you I was gonna smash my nuts going across that steel fence out there back and forth. I escaped all day long. Now I got to keep it.
You're done. Did we
How
pass?
big is it?
180 inches. Are we ready for the freeway now? Yeah.
180 inches? 180 is legal?
It will be next time we come down here. If you put that seal on there, I can figure out how to make seals like them. We'll have a big one.
Yeah, I'll give you a whole box of seals. Let's do this.
You guys are only pissed off because I added
Pit window.
fluids in it.
Concession window? Let's check out. Thank you.
Hey, what's going on, man? How are you?
You get hurt, well, they get hurt. They're not gonna hurt you.
Take the valve cover off. Oh, you know, they used to fall off by themselves.
Yeah, well, rods used to fly out of that sucker by itself, too.
Yeah. I had more rods jump out than I had push rods. Connecting rods.
How many horses you pushing out of from there?
I don't really know. It's against around the rate. No, it runs about equal to the others that are running 3 what's that? Back up. Here. Put her in gear. Come on, take your sock. It's on your back. Yeah. Huh? It's the winner that's illegal. Let's go get it.
Let's go over in the crowd, okay?
Should we change the numbers on the pump now, or when do we get over? No, I've just got second and third. He just got back from signing autographs for the car.
All right.
I don't think
Let's
he's
all
changed.
gang up over.
I don't think he's changed motors.
No, I have to admit, Sills, they only had one car, and I walked in the trailer and no other motors.
But I did see that battery-powered drill with that long bit like that.
Yeah, did you see that? Go down there.
I'll waste a piston for this.
Burns is gonna be disqualified.
Me and Ron never disqualified.
Yeah, but it ain't even the size, it's for the nitro. It was the right size, it was the nitro that done it.
200-inch Volkswagen orders those. Don't you wish you'd put your small motor in there?
Hey. That's really them other guys have paid off.
He asked me that money.
Ron, which set of numbers do you want?
Turn him around.
You want the legal set or the, which set of numbers do you want?
Hi, Dad.
You're going to watch
No,
not Dave.
You listen to him, he can tell you the whole farm.
You got a ring there.
I know it. Pull him. It's going to take
How about you one time have a good, if you seal one, who's going to make one after? Oh, can't wait. It's iron fire. How do you seal the brake? Like little skates? That'd be the thing to do. You have to do this.
Yeah, how bloody?
Well, you know that. What are you trying to do? How big is this thing?
200 inches.
Hey, that's times 6, don't forget. Times 6.
164 was times 6. 34, that was in that summer.
Them guys in California, they just do it, or they phone it. 135. 138.
I mean,
Same front tire. I don't have to hear it, Ronnie's not worried anymore.
The combination wasn't too bad. We got it.
Again?
about 3 on it. Where's my money now? Or should I tell you the real number?
We got a Cactus, Jack.
Yeah. And he didn't even start. I wanted half my money back. Huh? I think that's fair.
That should be at least fair.
Yeah, he don't even start. You gotta give me half my money back, right? Yeah.
kind to their club. Well, Raven Raceway manager Dave Maness calls it the rebirth of racing in Tucson. He also calls his new dirt racing track by the fairgrounds the widest 3/8 in the West. And today, Maines and the crowd at Raven Raceway got their first full day of racing in. A little bad luck in weather, such as last night's power outage, which forced the cancellation of some of the midget races, has been around long enough. So today they ran the completion of those midget races, but these little cars can really move out. There were 3 pileups out at the track today. The red car you see in the middle of this crash is Steve Sussex Jr.'s racer. He was involved in this mishap. He was lucky, though, like the rest of the drivers who got tangled up out there. He was taken to Keno Community Hospital for a precautionary checkup where he was treated and released. Dave Burns from Casa Grande ended up winning today's event. And it finally...